Do you have that same dog on your shirt?
This is a Jack Russell Terrier,
Oh, okay.
and
Sorry.
Jersey is part Boston Terrier, part Pug, mostly Boston.
So it's a terrier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some sort of cousin. Goodbye. So, Anita,
Yeah.
let's talk headstones.
Ooh. Okay. Thanks for choosing that topic.
This is very appropriate. I will go first.
That seems good.
Okay, I did not think that I had a choice as far as waiting to get a headstone. You know, when your person dies and you feel pressured to make funeral plans, and the funeral happens within 1 or 2 weeks, and it's just like all these things,
It's like
including
fire hose.
yes,
Choice.
can you give me a year and
Yeah.
then we'll deal with it? But yeah, I think I just was caught up in the motion of what happens after somebody dies, and I was driven to the place where you choose a headstone, and I remember sitting there and the people are like, "What do you want?" And my husband's parents were there, and they I was like, "What do you guys want?" They're like, "Oh," we all three were like the worst. Cuz I mean, I didn't care. I just was like, "My husband's dead. I don't care what's there. Like he's not in
Yeah.
there." And and I actually didn't realize that people had very, very, very strong feelings about headstones until I met you, Anita. So let's
Right.
talk about your situation and we can come back to this.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was going to say you buried Scott in a cemetery though that had restrictions on headstones.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. They had to be flat, right?
I didn't even know any of this. I guess so.
And they had to, is it copper that they're made out of or brass or
This is how much I was so out of it. You can
yeah.
tell.
So you had very limited options, I
Hmm.
feel like.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those limitations. So my husband died 2+ years ago, 2 and like 2 months ago, 2 years, 2 months ago. No headstone still. And um not a lot of pressure from outside sources, but a little bit of pressure, and just felt really unable to make the decision about what it should look like and what I should get. Like kind of paralyzed about it to a
What are
certain
some of the
degree.
thoughts? What's been holding you
Yeah.
back?
Well, first of all, I'm a generally indecisive person. I have a hard time making a lot of decisions, and I don't have great design aesthetic. So I'm like, I don't even know what I like. I don't
I'm
even
gonna
know.
help you. Can I design it?
Yeah, sure. And then it
Okay.
will have Jack Russell Terriers or something on it.
You never know.
Um, but I right after the funeral, also the funeral directors, I felt a great deal of pressure from them, and I reacted poorly to that. It was like, leave me
Did
alone.
you
I'm not
yell at
making
them?
that decision. No, but I just like I'm not very good at standing up for myself in general, but I did stand up to them. I was like, I'm not going to worry about it right now. And I knew that I had that option because ironically, my grandpa, when my grandma died, he didn't have a headstone for her for 6 years. And I had to force him to go get one for her.
It runs in the family.
I know.
I didn't know it was an
Upsetting.
option to not choose. I thought you
Yeah,
had
right.
to choose. And then I was my husband died in November, and so then what people were saying was, well, they're not even going to be able to get it in before Memorial Day, but hurry, if you choose now,
Yeah,
then it will get in before Memorial Day. I had no idea. Now I know so much more.
right. They said the same thing to me. Like, if you want this in by Memorial Day, and that's like total sales tactic to make you feel that rush, like
Rushed.
limited
Yeah.
time offer, buy two, get one free. So,
Maybe we
but
should have done
yeah. Who would you have shared it with though? You
that.
didn't
Ooh.
know me yet.
Well, if
So,
I had waited long enough, then I would
yeah,
have.
true. Yeah. And then there's just the like, how do you research a headstone?
I don't even know.
I don't know either. But so then I'm not a very decisive person. That's the first thing.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then we get into the even the even trickier part, which is paralysis around doing him proud, conveying to the world that this was the most important person in the world. And knowing that's impossible, number one, because everybody in the cemetery who has a headstone is the most important person in the world. but I want it to be like everybody who walks past will know that this is the most important person in the world.
How do you put that
And
in stone and just with a few words?
uh-huh. And you can't change it because guess what? It's set in stone.
You could rip it out.
Yeah, I know, but they're kind of expensive. It's not like they're $12.99. They're
Like
thousands of dollars.
1,099. Yeah.
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 So,
I've heard
I,
of some scams with headstones too.
yeah, yeah,
It's so unfortunate that people take advantage of others with these horrible circumstances. Like, come
right.
on,
This
scammers,
is
go pick
not the
something
time.
else.
So, I have been looking into headstones though lately, and I've kind of set a goal for myself,
What's your goal?
but I kind of don't know if I want to say it out loud because then I'll be held to it.
Just say it.
My goal is to have chosen a headstone by his next birthday. That's
Which
my goal
is
in April. So
soon.
2 months away. No, it's not even 2 months. It's less than a month. Never mind. I take it back. Father's Day
Of 2036.
of 2036. I always say that I have, if as long as I do it before 6 years, then I'm doing better than my grandpa did.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I've heard of some really fun headstones. What are some of like some cool ones that you've seen? Are you getting any ideas?
Well, I mean, I've seen like ones that are really literal and kind of campy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
golf clubs or like a big musical note and things like that. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's fine, but there's nothing that Jason loved so much like that I need to make a headstone out of it.
I'm gonna put the boss in another room.
Okay.
Just a
The boss is licking your face.
Yes. The boss has bad breath. Woo! Sorry,
I
boss.
think I do too.
I can't even smell you.
Yeah, I can smell that.
I went to the Sleepy
I just
Hollow Cemetery, Anita.
You did?
Yes,
Where
it's
is that? Is
so
that in
cool. It's in Sleepy
Pennsylvania?
Hollow. It's in New York,
What? New York. Okay.
New York
That's
State.
cool.
hmm
And all of those headstones are all like decaying, aren't they? Because
It's
they're old.
so cool and creepy. Yeah. Well, there are a lot of rich people there. Like, there's mausoleums there. It looks like you're going to a mini version sometimes of like a memorial at Washington, D.C.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah, some of these are huge, but you do not have that option. You have a
Right.
little
I
plot.
mean, even if I did have that option, I don't monetarily have that option. I can't build an
Yeah.
obelisk.
I like how you were talking about the things that you could put on there, like the engravings.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting in our meeting for Scott's headstone, and I just was looking at all of them, and I could hear Scott like here in my mind's eye, just going like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" And I actually, my go-to coping strategy is laughing and just making things seem super ridiculous. And so I was like, "Yeah, I'm putting an RV right there, and I'm going to put a unicorn there."
Yes.
Like, there's so many. They
Because
had so
you,
many. I had no idea there were so many. You could choose anything.
yeah. And that's almost crippling in a way. It might be better if somebody was like, you have two options. You can have a black one or a gray one, and it can be square or it can be a circle, and you can have Comic Sans font
Oh,
or papyrus
barf.
and
Oh.
choose.
And then I would be like, Scott, sorry that you just got embalmed and all this stuff. We're cremating you now. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't want it to be run of the mill. I want it to be something that's a little bit different, but I also worry that I have no taste. And so I don't want it to turn into something gaudy
I
or
can help you.
thank you. I don't know if I trust you. You put like unicorn vomit on Scott's grave every year. So
Yeah. He earned that for leaving me.
I'll show you the picture of the one I'm thinking about though.
Okay.
And I mean, it's been 2+ years and I'm still not sure about double versus single headstone.
Oh. This is normal, everybody. Don't worry. This happens every time. They're fine, right?
We might need to have a please hold. And I'm back.
Is everybody okay?
Mayhem managed.
Okay, good. No blood.
No blood.
Okay.
Nope. So, oh my gosh.
Maybe you need a trusted friend to help you kind of weigh the pros and cons of what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
That's not me, although I'm happy to help.
Oh, why, thank you. I'll be over
I'll
in
design
a
it for you.
moment. Oh,
So let's talk about the double versus the single headstones.
yeah,
Not sure on that yet.
right.
Because my decision was so fast, I just ended up doing
A double.
a double because I was like, I will never marry again. I am done dating. Like I had to decide it in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, right then I was just like, nope, this is my life. I'm going to like wear black my whole life and wear a veil my whole life and never talk to anybody ever again. My name is going on there. And I also died when Scott died, even though my body is living.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird? There is something comforting about seeing my name on the headstone. It's very odd and
Yeah.
traumatizing, but it's also like, oh yeah, I belonged to Scott. That happened.
Yeah.
It's
It's
integral
validating.
that I was there and that I was important to him. And that was important to me because as somebody that does not have kids with their husband and we were not married very long, it's easy for people that knew him longer to maybe take ownership or for you to feel like they take ownership more sometimes. It's complicated, but
How often do you think, because I feel like a lot of people in the newly widowed stage feel the same way, like, I'm never getting married again. There's no way my heart can deal with this. He was mine, all of that kind of stuff. How often do you think people get a double headstone and then end up getting remarried?
I think it's pretty common.
Common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that it's caused some strife among people. If any of you guys have experience with that, tell us in the comments. We want to hear. We want to hear your situation.
I don't intend to get remarried. I'm not actively pursuing dating. Or I know I'm dating you, Mel, but that's just a joke.
Okay.
Our relationship is a joke, but in so many ways. But I still think it's like famous last words. Like never promise anything like that because you never know what life is going to throw at you. And I actually there's like for perspective, there are 3 women in my neighborhood who are widowed young, and all 3 of them are remarried and have been remarried to their second spouse longer than they were married to their first spouse.
Have you talked to them about this?
Oh yeah.
What do they say about the headstone?
It blows my mind because there's different camps. So there's a couple that you would never know were married before. Like that life died with them and they don't really talk about it, and they seem like they're living just a totally normal, happy middle America, middle America,
Middle America in Utah life.
mid. What is it? Just like an
All
average,
American life.
just an average American life. And it's so crazy to think that they went through something so catastrophic and they look so normal now. Like that doesn't seem to weigh into their life now. Although I'm sure it does. It doesn't appear that on the outside. So, and then one of them talks about it pretty openly, but she's been married to her second spouse like 27 years. And she was married to her first spouse like 5 years. So,
Do you know
yeah,
what they did for their headstones?
I don't know about the one. I'll have to ask her what she did. Okay. I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the option of you could still choose to be buried next to your person if there's a plot,
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
separate headstones, and that way it's kind of a happy medium, even if you do get remarried, maybe.
Yeah. I tend to hate things that are very um not cliche, but that look like everything else. I'm just like, ah. I don't want the standard like rectangle with my name and with your name and with the picture in the middle. It's just I
And
don't
I
want
just
to.
was like, get it done, put it in
Yeah.
the ground. I don't want to ever think about this again. This is stupid and it doesn't matter because it's not Scott.
Yeah.
We're opposite in how we feel about it.
Yeah, but I kind of wonder if you would have had more time, if you would have grown more feelings about it. Do you know
Maybe.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also I've never been a big cemetery person anyway. My
Hmm.
family really loves going to the cemetery. It's
Yeah.
like a very important tradition for my parents and my grandparents on both sides and all
Yeah.
their extended family, like all the old people. And so I don't know why I didn't inherit that gene, but yeah. So I think it's just different for me. I don't know. I feel Scott around me more than when I go to the cemetery and visit. So I actually don't visit as often as maybe some people do. So I don't know. It's just such a disconnect for me. So I think I've just kind of been like, meh,
Yeah.
screw
But
it.
again, your options were limited. And so it's like there's not that pressure of differentiation because that was kind of taken away from you.
Yes.
Whereas
Also,
like,
his parents live in a different state.
mm,
And so they're like, "Hey, we're leaving tomorrow. We've been here for the funeral all week and whatever, we're leaving. Like we have to decide this now."
yeah,
So I was yeah. If I had known that there were creative options, oh, who knows what would have
who
happened.
knows? Yeah. Well, and part of the pressure is not about how I feel about it. It's communicating to the random passerby, the person who's walking their dog through the cemetery. Like in this sea of headstones, this is the one, you know.
Do you think that's even possible?
Mm-mm, I don't. That's why I think I have such a hard time with it, is because I know, and like I said before, everybody else feels that same way. It's like, no, my person, my mom, my brother, my husband, my whatever is the most important person. And when I'm at the cemetery, and the only reason we go to the cemetery is because there's a park there, and so my kids can play, and it's close to my house, and so when I run away, I can just run away there. But now I can't remember what I was going to say.
Were you gonna say you go there and you lay on it?
I do sometimes. But oh, and like if I'm having a hard time and like people are looking at me, I just want to be like, my husband is here. Like this is my cemetery. Like you guys need to leave. This is mine. You're just on a walk. This is not your dead person here. So,
Hard stuff.
because he has no headstone, he is nameless right now. He is the opposite of what my desire is. So,
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, keep us posted on if you actually follow through with your goal.
Okay. I
Curious.
will. And I want to hear what you guys did about double versus single and whether it was an easy decision and how long it took you and all of those things. So,
Or if you've cremated your spouse, what are some of the things that you've done that have been helpful for you to still memorialize them?
yeah.
Do you have a
And
cool
there's options
urn?
to cremate and have a headstone or a memorial plaque also.
Yeah.
Like there's so many options. So,
Mhm.
yep.
Yeah. We want to hear everything. Tell us.
All right, Mel, I'm going to go take care of the crazies.
Okay. And if any of you guys want to join our private Facebook club, the Widow Wives Club, go ahead and search for that. We would love to continue the conversation in there. We have a lot of fun in there, and everybody is super cool and chill and accepting. So find us there.
I'm Anita.
I'm Mel.
We're just two young widows on a quest to figure out widow we do now.
Mwah, mwah.